Build-A-Bear has been on an NVIDIA-like run. Do you know what? Let's run the track.
Life is full of surprises. It's surprising how things come true. Life is full of surprises.
Out of all the things that have surprised me this week, as in fact, I'm not even surprised anymore. You've got Elon Musk asking Tesla for $1 trillion. You've got bloody Trump suing the BBC for $1 billion. Nothing's making sense anymore. And actually, nowadays, seeing that a business, a normal business, is actually doing something to become profitable and following the normal guidelines of business and profitability and sustainable growth is the surprise. So you can imagine when I got this alert, I rushed to my phone and I said, well, what's going on with Build-A-Bear? What's this all about? Please, God, please make sure that this is not anything to do with AI growth. Please, for the love of Jesus. And guess what? We were rewarded. CEO Sharon Price-John has helped transform the plush toy retailer from a late 90s fad into a retail juggernaut. I've got a 13-year-old daughter, and the last time I went into a Build-A-Bear shop was when she was around 3. So yeah, about 10 years ago, 2015. So yeah, shortly after she joined. So there's a video here, which I'm going to share with you guys. And let's see what this is all about.
That with the all-new Acrobat.
You'd think that I paid for Bloomberg, that I wouldn't have to watch a bloody advertisement, but there you go. Sorry about that.
The actual experience of building a bear can be equated to what it takes to be successful in business. You're picking something that you really like, you're stuffing it with the exact things that you need, and then you're willing to put your heart into it. You're going to increase your level of success for sure.
Shout out to the fact that I just saw a Pikachu in there. 10 years ago when I went in, I saw costumes that you could put on traditional teddy bears like Batman and like different themes of costumes, but I didn't necessarily see a licensed plushie in there like a Pikachu. So already I'm seeing how this business has expanded, which is brilliant.
My name is Sharon Price-John, and I'm the president and CEO of Build-A-Bear Workshop. First, you get to choose your unstuffed furry friend. I really work very hard to assure that I have people on the team that are the best in the...
I'll tell you what, I always find it quite surprising that this business worked with children, because surely like children personify their plushie toys. To see it all there, kind of just the skin, don't know, it gives me kind of like Hannibal Lecter vibes. But yeah, somehow this experience has worked. Actually getting them to make the toy has worked with children. I always thought it was about fantasizing that your teddy bear was a real kind of friend.
The business. Now, we're going through a lot of changes right now. We're growing really, really fast. Any suggestions, any thoughts?
All right, typical boardroom type scenario. Goes in there, talks about how they're doing media and whatnot. But this is it. I want you to look at how the amount of energy that these reps put into interacting with customers. Now, don't think that this is just because she's on a video and she's with her CEO. These reps are actually like this, right? I would liken them to Disneyland employees. I think that's the next kind of same level of customer service I've seen before. I'll be like, wow, you guys aren't even retail reps, you're actors.
So I had a golden retriever. Her name was Katie, so I'm going to build Katie today.
That.
The next step is to put all the goodies inside. We went through a process of pivoting the company from what was a mall-based retail stuffed animal store for kids to a branded intellectual property company that just happened.
Brilliant. I love the fact that they've managed to kind of go more into the digital space, because there was a lot missing there. I think they had an app back in the day, but it wasn't a wider range of kind of a tapestry of different digital apps. So to see them go into it just makes absolute sense. Smart CEO.
To have vertical retail as one of its revenue streams. When you can monetize a feeling, that's a much more diversified approach, and that creates a much more resilient approach to business. Build-A-Bear is a pioneer in experiential retail. So we were doing that back in 1997, and really there isn't anyone that does exactly what we do.
Rub it on your heart so she's full of love. On your head so she's full of your fun memories with Katie. And on your
I'd kill myself if I had to do that for a job. I'd actually kill myself. Honestly, I hope they get. Imagine Nigel Farage telling us that these young reps should be getting a lower minimum wage. I mean, the cheek of it.
shoulders so you always have her to lean on when you miss her. Give it a big kiss. And we have to put that inside so we always
There's
know you love her.
a magical moment with this where in the mind of a child, the stuffed animal almost comes to life.
Good job.
Say thank you.
Call it a bear market on a bull run. One of the best performers in the stock market this year, rising over 50% since the beginning of the year.
Guys, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. For a teddy bear company, retail, bricks and mortar experience company, it's brilliant to hear that, because you know what? It gives us a little bit of hope that there is a way of developing business in such an economy and not a whiff of AI. Take notes. You know, if you wanted something that was a bit, I mean, had we discovered this several years back, it would be a brilliant stock to have just to hedge against everything else that seems to be pegged with AI.
The consistency on the quarter-on-quarter deliverables, we've been not only consistent from a business perspective, but we've kept a very clean balance sheet. We had tremendous cash flow.
Now, you know that they have a good balance sheet because CEOs usually, they do smoke and mirrors to get people to pivot away from the numbers in the balance sheet. So if this CEO is going out there in the media and saying, we've got a healthy balance sheet, be rest assured that that's something that they really do have right. Hardly any CEO brings attention to the balance sheet. It's actually their nightmare. So the financials in this must be strong.
So
For those who would compare it to like a meme stock, how is Build-A-Bear different?
our stock
Okay, so saying, how does this compare to a meme stock? It's not a meme stock. Go on social media. There ain't any fads, any trends, any kind of spikes in, you know, this isn't Labubu where it's just a fad or prime drink. No. This is steady. This is steady. There isn't any, there isn't any hype around the brand right now. It just seems like they've been chipping away and making sure that they open up new business streams. And I tilt my hat to them.
stock appreciation is based on the fundamentals. If you just break down what we've been able to do from an increase in profitability, it starts to add up.
How have tariffs and supply chain shifts affected your gross margins?
Tariffs are a challenge for any company that's importing, and we've diversified our supply chain significantly, but that still does not keep us unimpacted by tariffs. We're going to have to cover some of these costs. We will not be able to cover it all, and we won't pass it all on to the consumer, but there'll be a balance.
What is your read on consumer discretionary spending on the current economy?
We
Bloody hell, heavy questions for a CEO that manages a teddy bear company. Jesus Christ.
are not recession-proof, but toys are often very recession-resilient.
Do you know what? Usually I would say, of course, it's not a recession-proof company, but you know what? Let's do a little bit of critical thinking here. When we think about entertaining kids, we think about how much it costs to actually give a kid a gift. You know, we are thinking now, if you take a child to a cinema, you'd probably take a child and a friend or two, and a consenting adult would have to be, a responsible adult would have to be with them. You could easily rack up a £50, £60 experience with them. And that's for about, what, an hour and a half film? That's usually kind of the length of a children's movie. You could easily just do this instead, pay £30 or £40 to get them a stuffed teddy bear. They're going to have a magical experience, which is pretty much the nearest thing they're going to have to a Disney retail experience, where they get so much love, and you know the retail rep gives them a whole kind of white glove treatment. Not bad for 50 quid. And there isn't that many alternatives in the market, even during a recession, where you can go out with your child and spend, what, 50 quid, 60 quid, and give them that type of magic for their birthday. So even if, like, there was a crunch in the economy, there's still going to be children's birthdays, there's still going to be special moments, and this might just be the alternative to giving them a £30 Roblox voucher for their tab, or going to the Apple store and buying them an iPad. This might be that affordable experience that can still give them a memorable moment. So yeah, this could have this business could have legs even during the darkest of economic times.
particularly during the holidays.
There you go. Thank you.
And when you think about how we're kind of in this crosshairs of the nostalgia economy, there's adulting, DIY, and we're sort of mashing a lot of that stuff together.
Okay, so let's stop that. I was actually reading about it. So she took over the business in 2013. So her background, she used to work for the Barbie Mattel company, the M&M, Mars, Inc. that owned M&M. So she was doing a lot of marketing with them. This lady knows her stuff. She understands the mind of children, right? And she's very, very meticulous, studies the way children, interact with the products, and she kept that part of the business alive. But what really, really got me thinking was the fact that she actually expanded to the adult side of the business. And I'll be honest with you, if I was a CEO of this business, I would never even think that there was any form of kind of adult market out there. But hey, lo and behold, she's found it. So let's have a look at the part that speaks to this. So as shoppers returned, Price-John, the CEO, continued to push her target to previously neglected customer bases like adults who could today purchase Build-A-Bears based on more mature material like The Matrix and Stranger Things, and age-related gated section on its website. So the brilliant thing is this. Not only has she integrated an adult market into it, I mean, I'll be honest with you, when I first heard the adult market, I thought, oh my God, is it like, I don't know, or like they've got this new fad where people dress up as ponies and stuff like that. I thought, I hope it's none of that, and thank God it's not. It's just kind of branded versions of their toys with adult themes. And we'll go into the website in a bit. But what I really love about it is that she didn't actually compromise the core of the business. She didn't add a adult section to her stores. She just kept it as a gated part of the business online. So I want to show you that right now. So this is the main website. And then they've got this little section here, right next to sell, the bear cave. So you click into the bear cave. It usually asks you for consent to go in there. Tells you, are you 18 or over, that type of stuff. No sexual stuff, by the way. Just that is how precautious they've been with this whole element, right? So let's have a look at some of the themes. They've got a wicked collaboration. So imagine you're going to the theatre, you're taking your missus out for a date. You might want to give her a wicked bear with her, personalized one, Stranger Things, Doctor Who, Beetlejuice, Harry Potter. Brilliant. Just expanding into those franchises, which I just think is amazing. Look at this Stranger Things plushie, right? It's got this open head alien-y thing going on. Might terrify the kids, but it's brilliant for adults. So they would love a bit of that. They've got a Pride collection for people that are proud. Also, After Dark. Let's have a look at this After Dark stuff. Oh, a teddy bear with blood coming out of her eyes. A demon teddy bear. A kind of... Oh, look, a little sexy teddy bear with, a bit of that. I think it's brilliant. I would have never thought of that. So you can really, really get an inkling that this CEO thinks outside the box, I'd say. So another thing that caught my attention, I said, okay, wow, this is a very, very innovative CEO. When I went to Build-A-Bear 10 years ago, it was a very kind of toddler to about 7, 8, maybe 9-year-old led experience in store. And I did think to myself, well, how would you get a baby to interact with this? And that's exactly what her next milestone is. So now that adult Build-A-Bear converts are covered, so she's got a good customer base there. Would love to get some numbers on that, but anyway, we could do that another day. She now plans to target the other end of the life cycle, which is newborns. So we really don't have a concerted 0 to 1 business, and she's looking to get into that because she believes that those babies, or at least the people buying stuff for them, just need the right marketing. This is a lady that really thinks about. She's covered digitalization. She's covered how can we get more money from adults? She's now thinking about babies. And I just have a feeling that this lady will not run out of ideas. This is a business that could have some serious growth. Off the top of my head, the only risk behind this business is really what happens when that real estate becomes very expensive and, they have to perhaps reduce the footprint of their stores. We're talking about the fact that she inherited a load of stores. It had approximately 48 So it had lost 48 million the previous year, with about 20% of stores not turning a profit. Sorry, 1 in 5 stores were not turning a profit. can that withstand a credit crunch? You know, this is still a business that's very bricks and mortar led. It's all about going into that store, having an experience, and then the website side of it would be more of a complementary part of the business. So how can it stay on top of that risk? I don't know. But yeah, great to see a normal, healthy business in the headlines. And it just gives me hope, you know, our whole economy isn't just propped up on BS around AI. There are some clear winners, and you can have some real sensible CEOs with experience that aren't doing financial accounting magic or doing things that a regular person can't understand, just good principles and leadership. And she's a woman. And, you know, I think that's a brilliant thing as well. My hat goes off to Build a Bear. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think.